Good morning. Can everyone hear me? Thank you for coming out on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Not quite the weather we were hoping for, but obviously there are some intrepid folks that wanted to join us, so I have to say many, many thanks to everyone who took time to come on out. In a way, this is kind of appropriate weather. This has been a long, strange trip. In 2015, Public Works was told, make this happen, and so from there we scrambled, we put together an RFP, and there have been some hurdles and some stumbling blocks, but here we are a couple years later finally launching this, and there's a lot of excitement, and thank you again for being part of that. When we put out that RFP, the bike share world was in a state of transition. It still is. It's an evolutionary kind of thing, and there's this company, Yauger Technologies, that showed up on our radar screen, and they quickly rose to the top. They're the most innovative of the companies that responded. They're the first in North America to offer electric pedal assist, which is going to be rolled out here in very short order. Elaine Ayot, the CEO and founder of Yauger, standing in the back here, puts it together nicely with the term that it democratizes bike share. By adding electric pedal assist, it makes bike share that much more accessible, convenient, and utilitarian to users. So we look forward to rolling that out. One of the other components that they brought to the table was Jim Duffney, CEO of Core Logistics. He's going to be managing the operations and maintenance side of things for us, and Jim has an extensive military background, and one of the major components, one of his main missions, is to serve the veteran community, especially veterans that are facing challenges reintegrating into the workforce, whether it's homelessness, whether it's addiction, a number of different things. That's a critical piece of what he does. He's been doing that in Baltimore with their bike share system, and we're looking forward to seeing him hit the ground running as he already has. The third component was the fact that they were demonstrating a real commitment to collaboration and a partnership. It wasn't a matter of putting stuff on the ground and leaving. They were in it for the long term. Our success is their success. Our growth is their growth. So it really was obvious that they were the team to go with because they wanted to be part of our team. Speaking of team, there are two people that I need to recognize in particular on the city side of things. A lot of people have been involved in this, but two people kept me from losing my sanity totally. One is my boss, Mike Sawyer. I'm not sure where he is. Mike only half-jokingly refers to himself as my intern. There's no task too small for Mike. Literally, if it was making copies for a last-minute meeting, if it was making a phone call, if it was sending emails, he was there helping me out. He's helped keep my sanity, and I think it's reflective of his leadership style. As our city transportation engineer, it's about outcomes, not about hierarchy. And so Mike, thank you so much. The other person is Mr. M. Kara, Deputy Director of Public Works. Kara's been with the city for quite a while. He knows the processes, he knows the institution, he knows the people. Whenever there was a challenge, he was there to get me through it, over it, around it, whatever we had to do to get past the barriers that would crop up. Without him, I would just be floundering. So for those two gentlemen, thank you so very much. They're absolutely instrumental in getting us to where we are today. Kara would occasionally say we have come so far. And so it was very kind of understated, but it dawned on me the other day that was that little motivating nudge that would kind of keep me grounded and knowing that we were making progress. So thank you very much. That said, this is just the launching point. We have a lot of work ahead of us. We've got 16 stations on the ground. We've got several more that are awaiting a couple of lease agreements with some of our institutional partners like VCU to continue expanding the system. Very quickly, we're going to start adding the electric pedal assist. So this is not the end, this is just the beginning. It's the introduction of bike share to the city. And since we're talking introductions, I would like to introduce our relatively new Honorable Levar M. Stoney, Mayor of Richmond, who is here to celebrate with us today. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jake. And before I begin, let's give a round of applause to all of the employees over at DPW who made this happen today. Let's give them a round of applause. And Jake, thank you for what you've done. Before I go any further, I'd like us to just take a moment of silence. Last evening, yesterday, we lost citizen here in the city of Richmond just being a pedestrian, walking. Naomi Benoit, who was unfortunately a victim of an incident on Broad Street a few weeks ago, lost her life yesterday. And so I want to take a moment of silence real quick. Thank you. Today we are launching RVA Bike Share. That's a round of applause, guys. I know it's raining out there, but obviously you all know that the work of the city continues even when it's raining outside. And today we are taking that step forward, or I guess that pedal forward. Corny jokes this morning. Today we are announcing and launching RVA Bike Share, and this is for those middle range commutes. If you live in Churchill and you want to get to the Fan or Jackson Ward, maybe you might want to actually grab a bike somewhere nearby. That is what we're going to be allowed to do now with the introduction of RVA Bike Share. This is a city initiative and a city-owned service for the benefit of the entire public. So no matter what neighborhood you may live in, you will have access to these bikes. As I said, it's a perfect mode of transportation for middle range shops and for trips. But also I will say this. I can sum up bike share in one word. The last word, share. It means, let's start with S. It means speed, quick trips, easy access, and convenience. H for health, healthy transportation, more physical activity, and less air pollution. A for access, access to the GRTC Pulse that will be coming online sometime soon. Low-cost transportation, mobility options for the residents and visitors. R for reliability, 24/7 availability for our residents and visitors. Distributed stations throughout the city, well-maintained bikes, and customer service. And lastly, E for ease. It's going to be user-friendly, easy to access and return bikes, and we'll have electric pedal assist coming very, very soon. As you all know, in many, many other cities around the country, you can have access to an amenity just like this. And there's no reason why RVA Richmond shouldn't be part of that same group of cities. And so today is a proud day for the city as we take a step forward, but also this today would not happen without our stakeholders involved in ensuring that pedestrians and bikers can stay safe here in the city of Richmond. But also, today would not happen without our friends over at CarMax as well. CarMax has been involved not only with us here at DPW working on this project, but they've also been involved in Parks and Recreation as well. I got to visit your basketball camp, your basketball tournament over at Pine Camp earlier last month, and you guys do a wonderful job, and this could not happen without you guys' support. So let's give a hand to CarMax. Now it is my honor to introduce my friend, my ally on the city council from the 1st District, Andreas Addison.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is a great opportunity for the city of Richmond to really take what I feel is a bold step forward. I worked in City Hall previously for 8 years. I remember when Jakob Helmboldt came in and was given this task of being the bike coordinator for the city of Richmond. It's a daunting task in City Hall, and we had many conversations of figuring out how to navigate how City Hall works, ways to make sure things can get done, and actually help brought together a University of Richmond MBA student to do a capstone to prepare for that RFP we put out in 2015. So I've been a part of this project for many years as well, so seeing this moment come up is a great accomplishment for Jake as well as the DPU staff, the DPW staff, and it's great to be a part of that. But one of the things that really resonates for me is that this is the missing piece, in my opinion, for public transportation and multimodal transportation in the city of Richmond. You know, you can have a bike, but have bike share at a bus stop, to have a bike share near where you work, to where you go to class. If you want to come here to visit our city, to enjoy our restaurants and other scenes in our city, this is the place for anybody to get anywhere at any point. And that's a great opportunity for the city of Richmond to take a bold step forward. You know, Levar Stoney, the mayor, said a great opportunity for our city to really take a step in sharing access for everybody. And I really think that this is a way to help elevate equal access and equity for everybody in our city, to be able to go at all parts of our community that we enjoy together. So I'm really excited to see this bike share kind of come alive over the next couple months. And I really look forward to really connecting the dots from GRT, the Pulse Transit line on Broad Street, to expanding this across all communities. And I really want to make sure we do this in the right way and make sure we include all the stakeholders in the community, especially sports backers with all their efforts for increasing our bike infrastructure and bringing together the safe passages for people to get in and around our city safely. This is one of the greatest pieces that brings it all together, and I look forward to seeing it expand from here. Thank you.
Mayor Stoney mentioned CarMax briefly. I want to touch a little bit more on the significance of their involvement. A lot of companies have been instrumental in the growth and rebirth of downtown. We've seen tremendous change in the last decade with more people moving to downtown, corporate citizens and our individual citizens. But one stands out, and that's CarMax. And the reason they stand out relative to today is they're our first sponsoring partner. And that is a really significant contribution. If you look at bike shares around the U.S., those that are successful are the ones that have been embraced by the community, whether it's the individuals that use it or whether it's the corporate community that helps support it. Bike share, in order to be accessible, sustainable, affordable, relies on those partnerships. And again, I keep mentioning partnership, but that is really a critical element because that's what all of these really are. It's all about building this asset and amenity. And hopefully CarMax and their leadership is going to kind of lead the way for others to really recognize the value of what bike share brings to the community. And so with that, I want to introduce Ann Yauger, Assistant Vice President of Digital Products. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake, and thank you, Mayor Stoney, for all your nice words. We are really excited to be part of this announcement today, and I am very pleased to be representing CarMax and our more than 1,200 associates in the Richmond area. We're relatively new to downtown. Our headquarters is out in Goochland, and of course we have our 2 Richmond area stores. But about a year ago, we moved over 100 associates into the Lady Bird Hat Factory building, which is on Virginia Street next to the canal. We established there our first digital and technology innovation center, and all of the teams that work in there are focused every day on creating innovative new experiences for our customers. So that building has been a really cool environment for them to work, and the whole downtown Richmond area has been a tremendous source of inspiration. And it's also really helped us attract some terrific talent because we're growing in that area too. And then finally, we have a big commitment to making Richmond an innovation hub, and so we're supporting that too by being here. So our associates that work in that office couldn't be more excited about the bike share program. Ever since we've been there, they have really enjoyed connecting with all of the great things that downtown Richmond has to offer. And so this bike share program is going to allow us to extend that to the whole Richmond area, as the mayor said, as well as the nearby neighborhoods in a way that's just fast and easy and super fun. So we are all very, very excited. We're thrilled to be the first corporate sponsor of Richmond Bike Share. We truly believe it's going to be a huge win for the downtown Richmond area, for the businesses, the tourists, and the residents here. We're also just proud to call CarMax our hometown. We're very, very committed to its growth. And this is just one more thing that makes it such a great place to live and work. So thank you very much.
I got cut a ribbon here.
Yeah. With that, thank you very much. We were going to have a group bike ride, but given the weather, I think once we cut the ribbon, we can continue to answer questions and
Let's cut
be on our way.
Get in there, Jake. Here we go.
All right.
All right, we're going to count down here. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah!